Hello there, welcome back to another video. I am Ramona, and we're doing another, what is a secret, you'll tell the internet and random people, but you'll never tell anybody in real life video, because it's good to get this stuff off your chest, and it's interesting, gives you a lot to think about. And first story, ready? I shot a kid in the eye with a pellet gun and blamed my neighbors. He went to juvie for a month. Everyone thinks it's him to this day. Oh boy. Open it right with Illinois. I made an account and posted a nude on Gone Wild and got 19,000 upvotes in 24 hours. Was at the top of hot and posted another photo which got a spotlight right under it. 13,000 karma and 8,000 followers. Deleted the account in a day because I found out that it wasn't my thing and felt kind of weird having my body on the internet. I did it out of insecurity for my body. Sadly, that's probably up there forever now. So, yeah, good luck with that. I feel more attraction for anime than real women. I secretly wish a guy in my class would get hurt and nobody else is around so that I could torture him and then kill him and nobody would know. I sucked a dick before. I'm assuming this is a guy because women, that's kind of that's really a secret, but I'm assuming that's what this means. I once got blackmailed on Discord. It was only a few months ago, but I haven't told anyone. Basically, a guy said that if I don't send him my nudes, he will do some things. Of course, I knew he was BSing and I blocked him, but it just got to the back of my head anyways. I haven't slept very well, and I just feel like I'm having nightmares about it. I may be in a math class, and I just daydream the acts he might or might not have done. Reply was, this is terrible, but I think that if he hasn't done anything he said he would, he probably was just BSing. I've unfortunately dealt with something similar on someone else's behalf and nothing happened. It just went away. No point worrying about something that you have no control over. I would also recommend that you go to the cops if you have the chat saved. Make sure you keep a record of everything he said. Don't give in to his demands, and best of luck. That's pretty good advice right there. There are some things I did as a kid, meaning like 15 to 20, laugh out loud, that I cannot and will never tell my parents. Those 5 years were the craziest years of my life. Secretly, I don't want to crush my parents' beliefs that I was a good kid who never did anything behind their backs. I kissed someone 7 years younger than me. Normally that wouldn't be an issue. I'm assuming that means they were probably underage. So, yeah. My great-grandparents, specifically my dad's mother's parents, were first cousins. It doesn't bother me until I actually start to think about it because I never knew of my great-grandparents, as they died long before I was born. But my dad told me about it and is still completely weirded out to it. I think it also upsets him because he had an aunt and an uncle, both of them born deaf, and his mother also was somewhat sick for a good chunk of his life. And also, one of his aunts turned out healthy, but she spent her life taking care of her siblings and never married. But, yeah, anyway. My crush, though they're on Reddit, so I best be careful. About an online relationship that got pretty serious. Not that I'm embarrassed about it or anything, it's just something no one in real life really needs to know about. Okay. I know which of my friends have tried to or thought about killing themselves. The number is far too high. Thankfully, no one has succeeded. I don't know why they tell me. Maybe it's because I've been on happy pills for 5 years and am very open about it. I just hope having someone to talk to helps, though I always encourage them to see a professional. My dad gave me £1,000 for a mortgage fee because my fixed rate ended. I realized I could add the fee to the new mortgage, so I did and kept the money and used it to get out of my overdraft. I'm in love with my partner's best friend. I've been in a relationship for 6 years with my partner, and things have gotten stale. At 22, we don't even sleep together anymore. His best friend is everything I like about my partner, and a little more. I know that he also has feelings for me, which make things even harder, but we'll never be together out of respect for my partner. Okay, I can understand that viewpoint, but you're not really respecting them if you're just holding on to a relationship that isn't going anywhere and you don't feel the same about them. It's best to end it and let the chips fall where they may. I wouldn't pick up with a friend immediately, but stringing somebody along is never a good thing either. So keep that in mind. One time when I was like 10, I went to Walmart and scratched the backs off of 20 Google Play gift cards without paying and tried using them. My dad cheated on my mom and invited the person over when I was 9. She was a severely overweight woman, and my dad was also overweight. My parents were fighting, but trying to work things out. Trying to work things out. They slept in separate rooms at this point. Earlier that day, I remember this one, jumped on his bed and broke the board supporting the bed frame. I wasn't allowed to do this and also got into trouble for this reason. My mom smelled the fact that my dad had company because she smoked in my house. She asked if I jumped on the bed. I said no. I feared I'd get in trouble, so I was surprised that no one would follow up trying to prove my guilt. Years later, I remember why she asked. I realized my lie basically incriminated him. I'm sure well, anyway, incriminated him to fucking her. I'm sure he did, but that got him kicked out of my house. And I broke the bed. Excuse me. That my crush is also my best friend, who already has a fiance and is planning his wedding. But hey, I can just keep my distance because I don't want to cause them problems. Reminds me of a movie. Just saying. I agreed to a first date with someone to make him stop crying. 6 years later, we're happily engaged and doing great. I don't know how well he remembers that, but I'm not bringing it up. Not that it matters much, but I'm a dude. My first car crash was me, all my fault. The passenger side was all scraped and dented, and you couldn't open the passenger front door. What I did was get gas and made a sharp turn to the stall and hit all the poles and concrete squares that they make. I didn't know what they're called. I told the insurance company somebody sideswiped me and that was a hit and run and got my car fixed. And to make it worse, my mom's friend works at a shop and instead of the 500 deductible, he charged me 200 and told me the insurance company that I paid the full 500. I feel guilt 4 years later. More people seriously regret having kids than most realize, and they will take that to their grave. In reply, this is 1,000 or 10,000% true. You can see it in their eyes, and there's nothing remotely rewarding or fulfilling about it. That's very sad. When I was in high school, I was pulling into my boyfriend's driveway. I hit into the corner of his family car. When I backed up, the corner puffed out, and it wasn't even a scratch. It went completely back to normal. No one saw, so I freaked out. Parked next to the car and never said anything. It's been 8 years. I've never told anyone, and I'm still with the guy. The car has since been junked. Tried to drown a kid when I was 7 years old. The kid was 5 years old because he was super annoying. He barely survived. I'm pretty sure my dad's accident was suicide, and it was caused by my mom. That's very deep and sad, I'm sorry. My father-in-law is so awful that I used to spit in his tea or food and watch with glee as he consumed it. I regret it now, but it was a long time ago, and I have grown up since. I'm a 30-year-old married man and have a diaper fetish that includes wearing and using diapers. This is always done in the privacy of my home, and usually when my wife is away for the day or a long weekend. I've had multiple times oral sex with random dudes that I met on the internet. I don't even know how they look like. I literally enter a random chat on the internet and say that I want to meet someone in the city where I'm living. Every time I do, I feel kind of guilty trying not to think about it, and then I do it months and weeks later. When I was little, my parents would take my brother and me Christmas shopping for an angel every year. I'm sure the year I was in first grade, the angel we bought was one for my classmate. After Christmas break, when everyone was sharing stories about presents, she described literally everything we had bought. I kept my mouth shut, but I knew. Oh, I see the whole Christmas angel thing. Oh, yeah. I misunderstood what I was talking about. Now I get it. But at least your family was doing something to help, and I'm glad it's good that you kept your mouth shut and didn't worry about it. That's cool. I used to be so depressed when I was young. I tried to kill myself and used to puke whenever I was alone in my house because my grandmother and cousins used to tell me that I am fat and ugly and had a lot of bad shit. I don't have the heart to share with what my parents because they'll be heartbroken, and I still haven't gotten over it completely to discuss it. That is awful. I wanted to take revenge on my high school because of bad treatment from the staff and some students. So at the last day, I corrupted all of the computers with a virus and destroyed water filters at the canteen, causing thousands in damage, which was around 20 times of the fees I paid in the first place, counting my 2 years there. Till this day, nobody found out. I really enjoyed reading a lot of these, so I thought I'd share mine. It's a bit of a read, but funny. I finished having surgery and had a post-op appointment with my doctor up from the hill. Had to go before that while driving up the hill. Figured I'd use the bathroom while in the office. I forgot I had to shit. Impossible as it seems. Well, I dragged back down the hill when the bullet train hit my ass. I pulled over the side of the highway, having no place to shit. I grabbed the only thing nearby, a thin, empty styrofoam box from Panda Express on the passenger seat. Things were moving fast. So fast, in fact, that I made my first mistake. I missed the box, and I had shit all over the driver's seat of my car. I also had been on antibiotics, too, so we're not talking logs here. We're talking full-on mud pie. Spit pea soup is fucking filled the seat. I'm going to this acrobatic maneuver effort not to dip my ass back into the mess. And I somehow opened the car door. I grabbed my phone and packed the trunk. After slamming the car door shut, important later, I run bare ass to the trunk of my car to grab a change of clothes I had prayed for. Good thing I didn't make that Goodwill run yet. God's joke wasn't quite over, though. I walked into the back of the driver's door to realize my keys are locked inside the door with the engine running. So now, to make matters worse, I now have to call a tow truck to unlock my door. Now some Hank, the tow truck guy, had to stare at the abomination that I left in my seat. I was mortified, and he just stared at me with wild bewilderment afterwards. I hung my head, and it's exactly what it seems. I'm sure that tow truck guy had one hell of a good story when he got back home. Wow, that's sad and embarrassing, and thank you for sharing that. I got a girl pregnant while in college, and while I was figuring out how to tell my family how to deal with things and how to start a family, she aborted it. I haven't told anyone and haven't talked to her since. I'm great at lying, and know this post isn't a lie, to the point where I'm not sure if that's true. Well, how do we know if it's true? It's helped me so much in life, and there's really been no negative. I have a good job working at a sports radio station as a producer for their afternoon drive show. It's legitimately my dream job, working in sports broadcasting. I've had a good college degree, right? Nope. I'm confident I can sell anything. I dropped out of community college because I had to work to support myself. My employer thinks I finished a 4-year school because that's what I told them. When we discuss college sports, I say my chosen school doesn't have great teams. They don't. Or any teams at all. Side note, I worked at my college's radio station, recorded music for my friends' bands, and record a podcast for my friend. I'm so qualified for the job, but I still learned some on the fly. I have been lying to my current girlfriend for a while now, and that's become the trend. Lied to my ex of 4 years, lied to another ex for 4 years, and now I'm lying to my current girlfriend. The lies aren't why they left, though. They think my past is a lot better than it was. I worked out a lot and I'm proud of my body. Back in high school, I was a twig. Well, my past 3 girlfriends and coworkers think I was a volleyball, track, and baseball star. Truth is, I stopped playing baseball when I was 16 and never did the others. It's believable because of what I do, big rock climber and amateur wrestler. Anyway, there's a lot more. I'm sitting here eating lunch and realizing the different stories different friends and family members know about me. Do I get caught? Sometimes. Do I fix with more lies? You bet your ass. Basically, my life is fabricated. I have a really awesome life with an amazing girlfriend, a perfect job, great friends, and a great family. I still lie, though, because it's fun. I don't regret a single lie, though. Oh, and the lies aren't to hurt people, like cheating, stealing, etc., just to hype situations and myself up. Edit? The weird thing is, I don't lie on Reddit. Wow. Okay. That was a lot there. But I've known quite a few people that do that. Once I hit an age where I was a serious problems with my body, 50 or something, I will commit suicide, granted that my parents have died of natural causes at the time. It's something where I can't be convinced otherwise, no matter what someone else tells me. Well, I hope you change your mind. One time in elementary school, I came out of bed in the morning and I was absolutely exhausted for some reason. I thought, no way can I go to school like this, and I told my mom. She said, okay, then go back to bed. I'll check on you in 5 minutes. If you're sleeping, you can stay at home. Really, Mom? I can never get to sleep in less than an hour, no matter how tired I am. So I decided I would fake sleeping. It worked, and I stayed home that day. Mom was probably long since forgotten about that incident. I am a preschool teacher, ages 2 to 6. A small amount of accidents that have happened to the kids I work with have been 100% my fault. Like this one time I had a kid on my shoulders, making her bump her head on a ledge where the ceiling suddenly becomes 30 centimeters lower. Bruise and bump on her forehead. Kids, get bumps and stuff, but maybe be a little more careful. I recently got out of my first relationship. It's been great, and we're spending as much time together as we can. Oh, got into my first relationship. Okay, that made more sense if I'd read it correctly. But right now, she's most of my social life. So every time I'm being social with people, I'm going in for a hug and a kiss. A few times I'm not with her and hanging out with my friends. I have to stop myself from going in for a kiss because that's what feels natural, even with my guy friends. That's not natural. Sorry. Oh, me and my cousin have been fucking for years. Okay, okay. I was in a relationship for 2 years with my married college professor. We hadn't had sex, but almost. I broke up with him after graduation. Okay. I talked to a 19-year-old guy online when I was 14 sexually and sent him pictures of me. He was manipulative and would constantly disappear on me and come back a few days later saying he regrets what we did and then continued these sexual convos again. It ended after a few weeks because I could see that he was hurting me more than anything, but it fucked me up. I'm also pretty sure I'm addicted to masturbating, but that's a whole other thing. I shat on a New Year's party bus a few years ago. I thought it was just a fart. It was a small shotgun blast of fluid. I stayed calm and threw away my undies in the next bar. Luckily, there was little or no shit on the inside of my jeans, and I was able to continue the night with no one aware of my poop crime. Lucky for you. Or maybe not. When I was only 12, my best friend got me drunk and therefore convinced me to have a foursome with them. All girls, so I never actually lost my virginity, but it was essentially rape. Edit, no, it was not my fault. I was drunk, and with the amount of alcohol I had taken at such a young age and such a small body, I would have said yes to anything. Yes, it is rape. The only real yes is one made up in the right state of mind. Don't ever listen to a yes that someone doesn't seem to mean or doesn't know what they're doing. I identify as a bi woman now, but before I realized it, I was in a failing relationship with a man and went out with a group of girls one night. Had too many drinks, ended up sleeping with one of them, my first time with a woman. Relationship ended a month and a half later, and I never told him. But I came out to my friends, just made it sound like we had happened after the breakup. Well, I didn't see the point in hurting him, and we were breaking up anyway. Throwaway for reasons. As a kid, me, a guy, and my 2 years younger sister were assaulted by an older cousin. Stupid games were the result of a lot of touching and rubbing. This happens almost all family occasions he was present at. It sickens me to remember all this, which happens a lot. What sickens me more is that it became some kind of normal, and such stupid games sometimes continued at home. It's hard to remember, but I don't know if I knew what was going on back then. I know now, and there's plenty to deal with. I've been lucky in avoiding that cousin for years now, but even the mention of his name is enough to bring all of it back. I don't talk to my sister about any of this, in part because I feel so guilty and I didn't want to ruin her and my life by reopening old wounds and memories. Last family gathering he wasn't there, and the subject of other cousins goes to him. One of them took me aside and asked me what I remembered. The implications of got me thinking that either quite some people knew what was going on, or that I had blocked worse things. I can't remember. I think it's both. If it's up to me, I'll never mention this to anyone in real life. I don't want to ruin my life or the ones I love. I hope you're finding healing with that, though, because that's a lot, and it affects more than one person. So, well, anyway, thank you for listening to this video. We're going to end on that note, even though it's pretty dark and kind of sad, but that's what, sharing random secrets with strangers on Reddit is kind of about. So, thank you for listening and watching, and go check out another video if you don't mind. Please like, share, subscribe, do all those things, and I'll see you later.